I'm DJ Price is Right. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, by way of Jamaica. My alter ego, I am a photographer. Been taking pictures for the last 30 years. Taking pictures while I'm DJing is interesting. The world we live in today, because of social media, is a picture economy. I didn't plan on creating a book. It was what happened with the pandemic that pushed me to take all these images and make sense of them. It's just about being there and being alive in that moment and freeze it in time for other generations. Just like Studio 54, the place only lasted 3 years. But there's movies about it, all these things that, got encapsulated in that time. New York and the world in itself is full of characters, and they'll take you back to a time when we weren't just so connected. It wasn't so now. I need a placeholder for people to be able to go, see, and touch and feel what New York was going through in these last, 15 months through my camera lens.
We are here with the man, the myth, the legend.
Yes.
Mr. DJ Price is Right.
Yes.
We're so grateful to have you here. This is our first episode of Summit Quality Goods.
Yes, I appreciate you.
We had you here last November.
Yeah.
When you just first, second book you were launching, right? And we were talking about this, and we knew we wanted to have you on first, so thank you for being patient with us. We also recorded a first segment without any audio, so he's extra patient, so thank you.
No worries, TV
but let's talk about this book, The Last Call, because some call it the photo scrapbook. Mm-hmm. You also had another great term for it, which was
the nightlife yearbook.
I love that. I love that because the photos here.
Yeah.
Tell us about what sets this book apart from, say, social media, Instagram, other photo books of nightlife in New York.
I mean, first off, I started this in 2019, right? It carries right over into when Cuomo shut us down in March.
Okay.
Like the 22nd or the 26th of 2020. I wanted to tell a story for, the people that really make the clubs what they are, and in my opinion, which are the characters.
Yeah.
So, rather than, there's enough people doing Instagram stuff. So I don't need to, benchmark that. So I wanted to tell a New York story in black and white, kind of, sort of paying homage to the Studio 54s of the world.
The characters rather than like the celebrities, right?
That is correct. Because you can pick up, maybe not millions of books, but a couple hundred books of celebrities. I didn't need to do that. I wanted to tell a story of the regular people because I feel like I'm a regular people's DJ. So, yeah,
So that being said, you started this as how long have you been DJing around New York?
Professionally, 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
And so what was the impetus of The Last Call, and why did you name it that?
Well, in the nightlife world, usually right before you close, they say it's the last call. So, we'll either say it on the mic or security will run around to each table and say, last call. So I wanted to use that name because of what COVID and just this whole pandemic was doing to New York. So it was like New York's last call.
Did you have another title for it? If because you started shooting this, you had the idea to shoot this before we were in COVID, so.
I mean, if it wasn't for my co-editor, which was Ray and Nephews, I don't know if I would have, and obviously I don't want to make fun of a global pandemic, but it really pushed me to make sense of, my time and all these pictures, because I didn't want to be another guy just having a bunch of pictures hanging around. I wanted to use it as a vehicle to inspire other people.
So, and talk to me about your history as a photographer too. I know that people think of you first and foremost probably as a DJ.
Yeah, but I went to school for photography. I have, about 200,000 pictures to my, in my stash, and then maybe 10 or 15,000 prints. Been shooting since the 80s, so, that pretty much says, so I really do this. I didn't just pick up a camera and, fooled around.
So were these shot digitally? Did you shoot any of these with film?
Not in this book. This is all digital.
Okay.
All digital. So it's like 2 different cameras. I think it was a Nikon and a Canon.
And what was, I know we touched on this, but what was the time frame again for when you started this to when when you kind of, the time frame that this book will kind of represent?
It's 2019, March, all the way till basically March 2020 when Cuomo closed it down. Yeah.
And just talk me through again some of that. How many clubs are represented in? Oh, I like.
Yeah. That's a good club, right?
That's a. I want a shirt like that.
There's probably 12 different clubs. I think I put them in a name order. So like the first one is the Blonde. I feel like I have a Hotel Chantel in there. I have the Delancey. I have Rose Bar. I have Public Hotel, which actually, you know, funny story, this cover is from Public. And
Public was?
Basically, it's the new,
yeah.
I don't want to say bastard grandchild, but it's the grandchild of Studio 54, because the proprietor of Studio 54, who is Ian Schrager, he owns Public, so it's just, you know,
okay.
It's just a different generation.
Right, nice.
Same story, different generation.
And now you're holding up that book. I have the paperback here. This one's available on Amazon.
That is correct.
And how much is this selling for?
This one is $19.99.
Wow, that's a great value. Very good value.
And then the ebook. We have the ebook.
Oh, the ebook too.
Yes, there's an ebook there for $9.99.
You just open up any picture, and there's 1,000 words, right? Can you tell me just your experience? You're playing music, you're taking photos.
Yeah, in Jamaica, you know, if you don't have 2 or 3 jobs, you're lazy. So you gotta have about 6 or 7. So yeah, my mother would disown me if I couldn't take a couple pictures and DJ. So yeah, it was fun because, you know, this is pre-pandemic. And, you know, people were in a different mood, so that's probably why, you know, some of the faces is just lit up and, you know, some of the places just have tons of people, but I wanted to capture that and tell these stories because, you know, I feel like with social media now, you just lose touch of what's real.
Right.
So this is real. I had to really do this and really make it. So, you know, if that makes any sense in today's world.
So this book was from March 2019 to March 2020.
Yes.
And then boom.
Yes.
We got hit with the summer of quarantine.
That is correct.
A tale of pandemic proportions.
That is correct.
Great title.
I feel like I got it from some zombie apocalypse thing.
Great title. Talk to me about your personal, you know, what was it like for you to go from being a busy DJ, photographer? I know you have more than 2 jobs. Other things going on, but from the nightlife perspective, what was it like to make that shift? You know, it's a city that never sleeps. Had to take a nap.
Oh man, you know, when I started venturing out in April, get on the train and it's nobody, not one person. It's like it's just you.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's just you. You get on the train, there's nobody on the train either. I mean, it was a bit scary.
The kind of inspiration for getting out there, did it just pull you out there?
It was so much going on in the world with the pandemic and, you know, race relations and just, I don't know if I keep saying mental health, but it was just a lot going on.
Other than the obvious different style of photos, I mean, these are all color, right? These ones are all color.
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about how, you know, your inspiration, or kind of how did you change did your eye change? Did your style change for these shots?
I mean, I actually got a better camera. so yes,
switched up cameras.
Changed up a little bit. But no, it you know, a lot of it is based Lower Manhattan. Mm-hmm. That's where.
And that's for both of the books, correct?
That's both of the books. And funny enough, you know, like in the Lower East Side, and don't quote me on this, but you know, like Andy Warhol and Basquiat and all those type of guys and women, you know, they frequented these places. Mm-hmm. So it only made sense I continue that story. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's based in some of these places, Lower East Side, you know.
And you know, it's New York support. I mean, I don't know. It draws all of these creative people, and it's got its own persona itself. And I feel like during that time, last summer especially, walking around New York was almost like visiting a sick friend.
That is correct.
And I feel like you captured a lot of that here, especially in the beginning of this book.
Yes, who were going through it in New York. We definitely were.
Did you feel? I mean, what were your emotions or your feelings like when you were out there, out there photographing all of this?
I'm just trying to tell stories.
It's like being in the middle of a fight. There's a saying, and I'm gonna shut up after this.
Please don't.
Never argue with anybody, because the person looking from outside is not gonna know who the fool is. So I don't have an opinion. I was just there to just document it. Whether you for Brianna or you for Floyd or whoever, I have nothing to do with any of that. I'm just a person here documenting. It's like the press, that's why the press, they wear press badges, because they got nothing to do with none of this stuff.
Did you ever feel like afraid to be out there documenting? Because it was hot out there.
It was, I mean, come on, I'm 6'7", black dude. I mean, I was afraid, because it's pretty terrifying some of the times, because you go, I got a $4,000 camera running around.
Right.
Anything could happen.
This book is out and available on Amazon.
That is correct, with the ebook as well.
With the ebook.
Yes.
And they're the same price?
This one is a tad bit more. This is $30.
Okay.
But the ebook is still $9.99.
Okay. Let's get Kyle.
Yes.
He's peppered throughout both of these books.
Yes.
So it'd be fun to just chat with him and talk to him about his...
I mean, he's like a family member. He's a nightlife legend, proprietor at a bunch of different places. I've known him since he was promoting.
Get Kyle on the line.
Yeah.
Kyle, you're peppered out through both of these books.
Yeah, because they're from late night, and that's when I do my best work.
Kyle, give us a little bit of your background here in New York and what you do and how you do it.
How I started was like in the late 90s, being a club promoter at some of the bigger venues that everybody knows so well, like the Limelight, Sound Factory. It was all those legendary clubs. And then started working with some of the smaller ones where I was trying to more hone in on more quality crowds. Did that for a dozen years, and I said, you know what, I'm going to leave it if I don't own it myself. So I started one and snowballed it into, there's 14 pieces of the puzzle right now. Barely holding on, but holding on nonetheless. So don't on that.
What were some of the things that you did though, last summer to before the outdoor dining was approved or whatever? Did you go rogue a little bit? Did you get out there and make things happen?
We tried our best. We did all these batch cocktails to go. So I actually got a kick out of being delivery boy. Because I knew a lot of the people that were ordering it, and it was just an excuse for me to drive around and hand out booze like I'm Santa Claus. So that was a cool one. And then they let us open up to-go shops out front of our businesses, and that turned into a whole scene. So people would come by and just drink in the streets, and whether it was 100% legal or 50% legal, they wanted us to be at a table but not too close to each other. It was a whole big cat and mouse game, but we popped out on the other side all right, so I guess no harm, no foul.
You mentioned that it was kind of fun, and it seems like you can make fun out of anything, but tell us a little bit about just the environment for you personally, and if you guys teamed up on any projects.
Well, my biggest promoter, my biggest friend and fan, but no, I mean, Kamal and I have thrown parties and DJed together for better part of more than 2 decades, but no, just shy of 2 decades. And obviously his photography is amazing. Always captures the moment, the right people, the real culture.
Yeah.
These books they cover the area of Basquiat and guys like Andy Warhol and these creative artistic people that you kind of can't keep down here in New York.
Right.
Is that who came out? Who was not afraid to come out last summer? What kind of characters were out there?
New York True Bloods came out. So
I stayed here through the pandemic too, and I want to say thank you to both of you for keeping the lifeblood into this. I had drinks with Kyle last summer. That was my first time getting out and going out onto the streets in the East Village, and so that's where I met Kyle. So I'm grateful to you for all. And one of his places is my favorite date spot. So I'm grateful to Kyle, and thank you so much for coming on with us, man, and chatting with us.
What a pleasure. Good to see you guys.
These books on Amazon. There's each page tells an amazing story, a beautiful story, and beautiful work. And we'll put the link down below. They're available in paperback for both of them, and they're both on they're ebooks as well.
They're ebooks on the Kindle and on the paperback.
Nice.
On Amazon.
We'll talk about that. And then what's another project that you've got coming up?
I got the late 90s to the early 2000s book called 2000 Ways to Party.
Okay.
A look back at the early days of NYC nightlife culture in the 21st century.
Wow, so that's gonna kind of go through your whole career as a photographer and a DJ and participant in New York City nightlife.
And you're gonna see some real characters in that one. It's like 300 pages, so yeah.
Any celebrities in that one?
Definitely.
Not that we care about the celebrities,
no.
but there'll be some before hitting their celebrity stride. I know I got a little sneak peek. That's why I'm bringing it up.
The cover alone,
Right.
Let's just hope he don't sue me, because I know that there was something going on with some shoes or something, and it was with Walmart. I'm like, I don't got Walmart money, so the cover might change.
Well, my friend, it's a pleasure, man. Pleasure to have you, and we'll get you back. And again,
we're gonna get it done.
Pick up these books. They're great gifts.
Yes.
They're great for your coffee table.
Yes.
And you won't regret it. You get a real sense of what it's like to be in the city.
New York City right here in 2 books.
Never want to go anywhere else. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank y'all.
In this episode, we'll be going through the top 10 winter sneakers for dads who don't want to look like dorks. Below, we have links to buy each and every pair of sneakers featured on this show from the most reputable websites. Don't forget to give a like and leave a comment if you're enjoying the show or find it helpful. Coming in at number 10 are the Nike Air Max 90. This classic runner was developed by sneaker legend Tinker Hatfield and has many color design choices to choose from. This particular version is the middle of the rotor, coming in at $120. These kicks are extremely comfortable and wear well with shorts, jeans, or a pair of trousers. I particularly like the mix of darker colors, black, taupe haze, malt, blue slate, for fall and winter. This sneaker comes in many different colors if this pair is not your speed. If I were a dad, and hopefully one day I will be, I would wear these with no-see ankle socks for a little style cue. At number 9, we have an old classic, the Puma Suede. These kicks have been around for over 50 years and will never go out of style. They were originally called the Puma Crack, a word to describe a highly skillful person or expert in their craft. In the 70s, they evolved into the Puma Clyde, and Suede in the 80s gained fame alongside rappers and breakers. These sneakers will never go out of style. They are respected by both old and young, and will certainly up your cool factor. Just don't lace them up too tight, or you'll look like you're strangling your feet. Number 8. Full transparency. I have owned several pairs of the New Balance Rove. Originally, I bought these sneakers to walk my dog around the block in New York City at the end of a long day. I needed an extremely comfortable pair of kicks that were easy to slip on and off. They have since worked their way into my regular rotation. The nice part about these sneakers is the ability to keep them clean. If they're looking a little beat up, hit the rubber with some soap and a bristle brush. Then toss them in the washing machine. They will come out like new every time. Another great feature of these sneakers is the mesh material really lets them breathe, and the heel material allows you to slip them on and off without untying the shoelaces. I don't think I've tied the shoelaces on these shoes in over a year. Number 7. About a decade ago, Vans Vault reintroduced Vans Old School in a premium leather version. Sometimes the Vaults are a little tougher to get because they are distributed at certain boutique-type shops. Lucky for you, they are now available at all Vans distributors. Vans are not only for skateboarders and surfers anymore, and have not been for years. This particular old school leather version is a borderline fashion sneaker, meaning that it can be worn with a dressier trouser but goes with jeans as well. It's definitely a more mature look than its suede and canvas versions. I would recommend wearing these with a darker color sock. Your kids are going to be pumped seeing you in a version of a shoe that they love. As you get older, comfort is extremely important, and running lifestyle shoes offer just that. At number 6, this is the Adidas Ultra Boost. If you have not worn a pair of Ultra Boosts, you're missing out. They are some of the most comfortable shoes on the market. The Adidas Ultra Boost comes in many colors and different patterns to appeal to anyone's tastes. The Ultra Boost looks great with long pants or shorts, is a great workout shoe, hangout shoe, or day trip shoe. It's a great all-around sneaker that will make your wife and kids proud to be seen around you. Number 5. If you're looking for something a little more conservative, this is the Saucony Shadow 6000. Saucony is known for its runners, but is an incredible lifestyle shoe as well. This is definitely an understated sneaker, just a great classic design. You can find these in sneaker boutiques, as well as right on the Saucony website. They come in multiple colors. However, I would recommend this particular color scheme: white, gray, and navy. Number 4. Taking inspiration from the human body and 90s track aesthetics, the Nike Air Max 95 mixes unbelievable comfort and head-turning style. The iconic side panels represent strength and use a selection of colors: smoke gray, light smoke gray, hemp, and black, with visible air in the heel and 4-foot cushions every step. This is a beautiful version of a classic shoe that is popular for any age group. You can't miss with the Air Max 95. The next 2 pair of shoes are a little more exclusive than the prior ones we showed you. There are links below in the description that will direct you to reputable sites to buy these and any other shoes on this show. Number 3. This is the New Balance 577. The 577 is a classic New Balance model with the highest quality of craftsmanship. Over the past decade, New Balance has dabbled in the exclusive market and released some real gems. This iteration is semi-exclusive. You're not going to find these at just any sneaker shop in your mall, but they're not impossible to find either. This is more of a sneaker boutique or Saks Fifth Avenue type of sneaker. The New Balance 577 looks good with a pair of jeans or shorts and will certainly make you stand out from the other dads. This sneaker is a quality look that you will not be disappointed with. Number 2. The Asics Gel Light 3 are similar to the New Balance sneakers that we just talked about, as you will only be able to find them in sneaker boutique type of shops. They are a little on the wild side, but conservative enough that you won't look like a maniac. I love the off-white for the outside of the sneaker and the darker colors for the inside. These shoes are outside the box enough that people will talk, but not so outside the box that you will look ridiculous. Kind of like, I'm a dad on the outside, but still like the party on the inside. This is a classic kick for the cool dad. Number 1. The Nike Blazer Low. You've probably seen these around recently. These kicks are definitely the go-to for the dad who is still fashionable. The Blazer has been through many iterations and collaborations since 1973. This particular version is clean and crisp. Anyone will look good rocking these shoes. This particular Blazer comes in a few different colorways. I especially like the tongue exposing some foam. It's just a little style wink that really sets off the look of this old school kick. If you want to take it up a notch and are going for the coolest dad on the block award, check out the Nike Blazer High Top. Thanks for watching this episode of Sneakers for Dads Who Don't Want to Look Like Dorks on Summit Quality Goods. If you're interested in any of these sneakers, please check out the links below.